Okay, we are getting started on, this will be part 6. We are starting on the head. So the cabinet is, let's see, 22 inches wide overall, plus you have the little side rails. I'd have to go look at my measurements. But basically I'm going to end up doing 20 and a half wide. That way it fits inside the metal guide rails, the little side rails, the metal ones. It'll fit inside of that because I'm getting rid of the neck. We're going to be about 6 inches deep and roughly, 6 inches tall. So what I'm doing right now is I have my saw set up to do about 1/8 of an inch notch. And then I got a guide rail sitting up here, and this is sitting back 1 7/8. That way, whenever I make my little notch across here, all the way across, it's going to be half of an inch back. And what I'll do is I'll do a little thin cut multiple times because I got to measure everything out. But that'll end up being like my top board, my top board, my bottom board, and then the next one will be like my sides. So I'll just have to, the sides, I'll just have to cut them in half and change it up a little bit whenever I get to that. But right now I need to do that. Then need to measure back how long it's going to be. Then do another 1 7/8, do another little trim. Because I'm going to go ahead and do all the depth cuts first. So it's going to be a little bit more measuring involved. But it'd be a lot easier if I had a table saw, but I don't. And I don't feel like doing an 1/8 of an inch cut, redo that full depth cut, to rip it like right there, 6 inches long or deep it would be. So I'll just have to mark it out. The good thing is about this is nothing has to be perfect. I'm making my own stuff up. So yes, I need the notches to all be half an inch back. So that way the clear little plexi that I have will fit in there. And to be honest, the plexi I have is like 1/16, and the blade is at least 1/8 deep. So I may end up having to put like fabric tape or something in there to kind of snug it up a little bit. But I'm not buying, 1/8 inch thick plexiglass for this. So here we go. I'm going to start making all these cuts, and then I guess I'll give you an update whenever I get all the cuts done. Okay, so 5 minutes later, you end up with this. So you'll basically have from this edge, that blue line, that will be either the top or the bottom. Then from that blue line to that blue line, top or the bottom, side, side. So obviously that comes up, extra, extra. And then probably because I'll end up nicking the wood a little bit from the other end, I'll make a back panel for it. So, and that'll go, say, these are going full length. Those will be on the inside of the top and bottom. And then the one that I cut off the back, it'll be on the inside on all 4. And then basically, I'll have to also do a lid. So that'll fit across the whole entire top and have I'm just going to have like a notch again, so that way it can just lift up. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to notch that one, but it's just going to be a lid with little hinges on the back. So there you go. Actually, no. What am I thinking? Top and bottom. One of these is your lid. So, yeah. I just need a back. The back's the only thing not laid out right now. Sorry. Okay. A couple minutes later, that's pretty much what you get. So, just going to have a little beveled edge. I'll sand it, and I'm going to probably spray it white. And like I said, I'll probably put like a little black line there, leave it a little bit, the bottom corner, like at a 45, will probably be black. Then I'll leave a white stripe, and then I'll do like an orange stripe, and then leave the rest of it white. I've got some orange paint over there and stuff, so just give it a little color. Inside of it, I'll just spray the whole thing black. So the only thing left now is just back panel, back piece. Then the plexi will slide in there, and then I'll just have to, kind of line where I got to make an inside panel for this as well. So basically, if the back panel is going on the inside, I need to make 2 of those. Because once I you know, I'll have another piece of board back, you know, whatever it is, 1/2 inch, because that's where like the display will go up. Well, it'll be notched out for the display to go in there and hold the display in place, and I'll have a couple, you know, bulbs in it. Basically the light panel. So the back panel, I need to make 2 of them. So here we go. Okay, so besides sanding, there you have it. And then I have, this will essentially go on a piece of plexi in there across, and then I'll cut out the white where those are, put a bulb back there, put a bulb right there, and this will have to be trimmed a little bit because it's obviously oversized, so I could trim it. And then once this is pretty much built, I'll cut a large rectangle out of here for air to come up through the neck, and then I'll have a grill on the back, and I'll probably just cut up over and down like 2 inches across and just have a spot for, maybe I'll do the top, that way it's at the highest point. I'll notch this down over it and up, because then you'll have the lid on top, and I need to do like a hinge over here, a hinge down here. So, but and pretty much there you go. And I mean, it's, give you an idea, I mean, that's only about the size of my hand, so it looks big, but well, I got big hands, but so it's overall it's like 6 inches tall. So so I gotta finish building this. Just kind of go ahead and put it together with the screws and just make it one solid piece. And then I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight, but I gotta work on taking the neck off the cab, so that'll be fun. So yep. Okay, so in a nutshell, here's the box. I will end up cutting a rectangle out across the bottom to let air in, and then either I'll just cut an opening in the back, like I'll just go down right there, over and up, so that way air can get out, reuse that grill, or I got my own. But right now I got little screws sitting on here, so whenever we sit this down, it's kind of raised up because I want to put like some foam on the sides, that way it's not just wood on wood. Yeah, these screws are a little bit long, so I'll need sanded. Well, the whole thing's going to need sanded, but yeah, this will open all the way up. So then I'll have to notch up, over, and down for one display, up, over, down for one, bulb, bulb. That's pretty much it. And then I'll have to trim the plexi that I have, the real thin stuff. So my main thing was I wanted to make sure for now that that notch was in line all the way around, because I can sand the outside and make that even. I wanted to keep the notch, you know, like there's a little bit of a lip right there, but I can sand all that off. That's not a big deal. And right now this middle board is not in place because I don't know how deep the Wolfpac is. I have a pin score, but you know, I assume it's all about the same. I wonder if I can just, I haven't actually put this on the game yet, so you'll do it with me right now. How about that? Yeah, and that just came right off. So essentially, yeah, I mean, it's not the like I said, the light panel's not screwed in yet, so these are one to like flare out because they're not screwed in the front half. But give you a rough idea. Yeah, that's not gonna fit. I can't. Be about like that. So, little guy. Aww. So yeah, just, you know, whatever. Like I said, I'll have to, and I'll have to do a little notch up the top, kind of the thing. Well, if I have the vent, I don't know, I'll have to notch it somewhere to like, so you can just drop the cord out and put it back in, kind of like factory. But I'll have to do it up here, not down here. Not that it matters. I don't know. But this whole thing is, I don't know, I'm just messing around. How about that? You see right there, yeah, you can see how whenever I cut that out, only 5 of the digits are gonna work. 5 works just fine, so. Then over there, on the right side, I'm gonna have to leave off the left. So where the 2 would have been, that little Photoshop thing that I did right there, not Photoshop, but it was just in my phone. You know, that's where the 6 digits kind of gonna be hiding back there. But there you go. And I'm doing green displays. Never done those before. That's why I'm just like, well, I only need 2. So if they look like crap, I didn't waste $200 on 5. I just wasted 80 on 2. So we'll see how it goes with green. I did order, because I needed stuff for another game. So I went ahead and I ordered normal red flipper bats with some white silicone flipper rubbers. So we're going to try, you know, matching the post red with white rubber. See what that looks like. Try that out, kind of an opposite thing instead of white with red. So yeah, interesting little project oddball. Anyway, there you go. I don't know. Next few days are busy, so I don't know when I'm going to get back around to this, but there you go. Okay, you ready? I got them sitting in there, just kind of quickly lined them. I need to, what I'm going to do is in the back corners of these display boards, there's a huge section that's obviously there's no wires or anything like that. I'm going to drill 2 small holes. Basically, once I'm done, I can take like a small, like a really small screw, kind of like what you would use in like your pop bumper caps or something, and basically mount the displays down into the floor of the head. That way they don't move anymore. Because right now also the wiring is really trying to pull and twist. I can see it from here, but the right side over here, that display is trying to do this because the harness is pulling on it. So I can tell a little bit that the right side's a little bit higher than the middle. But well, let's go ahead and turn it on and see if they work, see if how they look. Oh. Okay, those are like bright neon tennis ball green. Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to pick up in the camera being LEDs, you know how that always is. Man, I don't know if I can do this. Can I focus on something else in here? I'm trying to tap the screen and try to get it to do a different spot, like down low. Because if I tap on the display, it does that. Still not that bad. What if I... Because that looks very washed out, like a mint green. Yeah, these are like tennis ball green. These things are... I think they're awesome, don't get me wrong here. But, yeah. Those will work. I guess let's see, start a game. There we go. We are on ball 1. I'm going to see if I can adjust this a little bit here. Zoom out of here. Yeah, because see, that is a 1 over there on the right. And the camera, it almost looks like it's still a 0 because it still seems blurred. But clearly a 1 on the right and then a 0 on the left, which normally on the left you would have 0, 0. But you can see like the 1 UP symbol. That's going to be where the blinking LED goes. And then, oh yeah, that camera's right in my face. So, okay, well, show you that it works. Let me take it out of the thing here. See if I can do something like sideways. Yeah, you can see those are just green. I think they look good. This sticker is a little kind of washed out. I wish its colors were a little bit more rich, you know, and darker. But, you know, it was like a $20 sticker. I mean, get what you pay for. I wasn't going for, you know, a $400 translite or something here. Well, a custom. I don't know if some, because that would be a good idea if I really cared and I really wanted to make this look great, would be find somebody that does custom translights and then just, you know, send them a file, have somebody go in and Photoshop and shrink it down a little bit to where it was only like 22 or 21 inches wide. And then once they shrunk it down, take the windows and blow them back up to where they were still 6, you know, full-size windows. Yeah, and it may look like these might sit down a little bit lower. So what I might be able to do, right now I got this gap across the bottom that I was going to cover up. I might be able to just trim this and just drop the, which is nice, that'll be good. That's also why I didn't want to do it yet. I was going to build a little trim panel to go across the bottom because that's as tall as the sticker was. So right now what I'll probably do is just score off like 1/8 of an inch off the bottom of the clear. Kind of show you what's going on here. So you just got this. I saw it flicker and I was like, why is it flickering? That's just the display. So also another idea that I had is basically across the top of here, put a little LED strip, like a cob LED. And that way, whenever I close this, it would kind of light up this inner channel, just kind of like a GI light would be. I don't know, that might be way too bright. We'll see. Because really, it's so lit up by those by those bulbs right there. You don't even really notice it. And then that lighting up and flashing would be more obvious, and game over flashing would be more obvious. Credit and ball, you really can't even read down here, but it gives you a good idea. I mean, you can, if you played pinball before, you know what's going on. So, but anyway, there you go. That's just needs painted and then finished, and you know, sand the edges and stuff like that before I paint. So there we go. See you guys later. Okay, well, I've been working on this thing without taking videos, so my videos are getting way too long anyway. Last couple have been like an hour. This one probably will be too. My buddy Tom made me some oddball apron cards here, so one can play. One. Story of my life. Anyway, oddball being odd, red with white rubber. These are perfect play, trying those out. So they're silicone, but they're supposed to play like rubber. Played a couple quick games, feels pretty good. I did just build the wolfpacs. You guys have seen me build those before. I did make like a 45-minute video of me building one wolfpac because a 20-minute wolfpac takes twice as long whenever I'm talking. So I might post that as like a separate video. And I went ahead, I did swap out the pop bumper bodies, but I haven't done the LEDs yet because I figure I'll do those LEDs whenever I do the obstacles. Yes, the obstacles are on their way, but USPS taking forever, and they're just bouncing around in Memphis, which is where they started. So one thing I'm going to do whenever I do the obstacles is I'm going to shorten all the wires. Usually I leave them just the factory length and they're like 3 or 4 inches too long. I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to make all those wires as short as possible, pretty pretty close, because I think it'll look better. So anyway, on the back box, here you go, fuck it. So obviously it's not done. I did green wolfpacs. It's hard to get an idea, but just think those are like a dark green. They look great. They are just very vivid dark green color. They are not mint. Like I was trying to figure out a way earlier, like if I stood way back here with the lights off and zoomed in, they kind of got a little bit on the dark side. But anyway, I got the little clear plexiglass trimmed pretty close. Then I put the sticker on it. Then I took a razor blade and trimmed out the 2 little rectangles. So right now I'm not sure if I'm going to backlight this because honestly, with how close it is to the, hold on a second, I'm going to turn the lights off. Okay, because even with the lights off, that's pretty well lit. Like there's so many lights right there in front of it. And then if I have a flashing bulb right there for 1-up and a flashing bulb up there for game over, which you can kind of, game over is kind of hidden. It looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to backlight it. It'll be easy for me to test. So, because really, I'll already have 5 volts constant back there for the 2 control lamps. And then I'll just have to give it its own ground, which there's a braided cable right there under it. So not a big deal. Because the control lamps use switch ground. At least that's my idea. Or I'm going to blow it up. Actually, I need to check and see if those are AC or DC. Can't use AC on my Cobb LED that I have, the Cobb one that I have. Normally you can and it doesn't matter, but with that one it does because it's not meant for this. Okay, let me turn the lights back on and I'll show you the inside of the back box. Okay, so what you'll be able to do, and obviously this needs sanded, and you know, I'm probably still gonna make a little trim piece for the bottom to go across there. I'm gonna paint the sides of it red or orange and black and white. So yeah, just lift this up. I notched that back corner very horribly. I need to clean it out, but I just notched it real quick with the jigsaw, but I couldn't reach in the corner. Again, all this stuff. This isn't even mounted yet. Zoom out a little bit. This isn't even mounted yet, so it's just kind of roughly in place. This slides out. You got your 2 displays, which like already moved. I drilled the back corner of the displays, that way I could mount them. But then I have a vent in here, and the one corner hangs over the edge, so I can't even mount it the way I wanted to mount it in there. So, but yeah, right now we just got the rectangle in the bottom, which matches the neck. Again, that needs smoothed out and rounded. And then what I plan on doing here, yeah, the cables are pulling on it and stuff. So what I'm going to do is take a page out of my and you can see I left that LED off, that number off, the 0, because that is right there. So what I'm going to do is a page from my play fields I have hanging on the wall. I'm just going to basically drill 2 small holes over here and then do one of those solid copper wires, and then just put the LED at the end of those 2 solid wires. Then I can adjust it and put it wherever I want. I can angle it. It's going to give me a lot more flexibility than just trying to use a flex head LED might work, but you have to use a socket, and then it's only about a 1-inch adjustable. So this way I can have it come out over, then the LED is already facing this way by the time I lay it flat between the 2 wires. And then I can do the same thing up here if I want to, or just put 1 socket there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but do I want them to match, or do I want to, you know, put 1 socket here for interchangeable bulb and then just have, I don't know. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to put this back in because that display is hanging out. What I could do is put an L bracket on the left side of it. That way it has to stay at a 90. So I don't know if this is going to let me get this back in here. Yeah, and this is, if I had to do it again, I'd get a thicker piece of clear plastic for this, trying to get this back in. It is not lining up. I got one side in. There we go. So it's kind of the trick to that. And of course, that piece of wood's falling over, so it's messing everything up. I can't even do this right now. One hand. Then the top, you basically lay it down and just kind of run your finger on the inside of it to line up with the edge, and that's it. I want to drill 2 holes so I can just run 2, I would say head bolts, but it needs to be shorter because I don't have a neck, so I'll just use leg bolts to bolt down the head. So, and then on the side, what I'm thinking about doing here, basically like a triangle piece of black, then like a white line, then maybe like another small black, orange, and then everything else will be white. That way it'll kind of mimic some of this stuff down here. So, I need to grab some aluminum foil, clean this up. I started painting the cab. That side looks pretty good, but then my black, I don't even want to show it to you. My black paint marker started giving out on me on this side, so it looks horrible. This side though, all I did was the black and orange, and that looks a lot better. I tried to do a little bit of the white, but using a paint pen on the white just wasn't working. I need to do up in that corner with black, but like I said, my black was giving out. But even if I just leave it like that and then use a satin 2K clear just to stop it from puking all over my floor, it's horrible. So also I got 2 different legs in here because the levelers are like practically welded in there with rust. So actually what I'm going to do is, these are a little bit longer, so these are going to go on the rear because those are almost all the way up. So these are 1 inch longer, so these will go on the rear. Those rear ones come on the front. Those will go out to the barn to sit in evapor rust or some crap like that. So, but anyway, there's a little bit of an update on 8-ball. I don't know, I'm probably way over for time already on this one as it is, so I don't know when I'm going to cut off this part and show you the next part, but we'll see. Maybe I'll I don't know, maybe I'll get some more. This is the bad side. Maybe I'll get some more painting done on stuff and get it prepped for clear before I yeah, see, that one came out pretty good. That one's not bad, but that one's horrible. But anyway, so see, like I said right there, that's high score is 250,000, but it just says 25,000. So whatever. Okay, well, there you go. A little bit of an update. See you guys.